Welcome back to Down to the Wire. I'm Kyler Plunk, and today I'm here with Jacob Schweigert and Keeley Fowler, two state champions, so congratulations to them both for that. So if you guys want to go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I'm Jacob Schweigert. I'm a senior at St. Jen.
Yeah, you wrestle for the heavyweight, right?
Yeah.
So what kind of techniques do you guys use different from the smaller guys?
It's just a lot more throws.
Yeah, you guys don't really do all those other moves like,
No.
yeah. What weight class do you wrestle, Keeley?
I wrestle 140.
So I know you came from, where'd you come from?
Oak Grove.
Oak Grove?
Oak Grove.
Oak Grove. So how was that from going from there to here, and has that been difficult for you, especially towards the end of the season?
It's been a little difficult trying to make sure that I come into the team and not like take anyone's spot away.
Right.
And make sure they're all okay with me being there, but it was a little difficult, but they all were very welcoming.
Yeah, just trying not to cause any conflicts and unnecessary things.
Yep.
So do you participate in other things outside of the normal wrestling season?
I do like different styles of wrestling. Freestyle is the big one, but that's what's in women's wrestling
Yeah.
for up in colleges and all that.
Yeah. Do you do any other, Jacob?
I'm a three-sport athlete, so
Yeah.
typically once wrestling season's over, I'm rolling right into
Right in the track, yeah. You're a senior this year, so you got any ideas on what's for you in your future and after school?
Yeah, I'm gonna go hopefully get a spot in the electrical union somewhere.
Yeah. You've been working towards that here and doing some things here to get you prepared for that so far?
Other than taking a class down at Perryville for
Yeah.
construction technology, there isn't much.
Yeah. What kind of things do you guys do there?
I mean, we just build a house, and
Yeah.
go through all the steps of that.
Just learn a lot of little things and whatnot, yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys' road to champions, huh? Tell me a little bit about it, Jacob, your senior season and how it went.
Came out pretty hot. Senior season, was pretty excited,
Yeah.
and yeah, pretty much can't really say anything changed. I just kind of
Stuck to it and kept
stuck
at it,
to
yeah,
it.
and finally got there, yeah. What was your record on the year?
on the year I was 48-0.
Yeah, that's tremendous. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Keeley, what was your record?
45-1.
Yeah, that's tremendous too. Congratulations to you both, yeah. So are you taking any college classes right now or anything for your future? I know.
I am not.
Yeah, I know at our, just being a sophomore, it's can't really do too much, but
Yeah, and Oak Grove didn't really have many college classes.
yeah. Your journey for this season, was it pretty hard at your old school to?
Not really. Our old school was nothing but doing technique, and that's not what some of us needed, but we went to some of the bigger tournaments and got a little better competition and all that.
What about the coaching? I mean, it had to affect you in some shape, way, or form, just
The
having
coaching
different coaches.
wasn't bad. It's much different than here. They had two different teams, a girls team and a boys team under two different head coaches.
Right.
So there was some conflict with that. Never really got to have like a practice where we're all doing the same thing. So it was difficult to
Yeah.
stay with what we're doing and all that. There was a few times I had to go with the boys because the girls didn't really do anything and I needed a better workout.
Yeah, and this was at your old school, right?
Yes.
Right, yeah. Well, are you glad you came here? Or?
Yes, I am very glad that Dad took the job opportunity to come back.
So that's why you're here now, is Dad's decision for a job?
Yep.
All right, talking a little bit about this season and looking at kind of how you guys prepare and how you take to upcoming matches. It's not just one. You guys play a lot, right? So when you go into practice, give me an idea of like where your head's at.
I'm not gonna lie, going into practice, I'm not in the best headspace, but just because I know Bonnell, he cares a lot about us and our success. So that practice is gonna suck. like you're gonna get better doing that practice.
Tori, you feel the same way? You think the practice sucks?
Sometimes. I actually haven't mind some of the practices I've been to. There's been a few that are difficult, but I didn't really mind them. They were practices that I needed.
But he pushes you guys, right? I mean, that's what makes it suck.
Yeah.
Is that he's getting the most out of you, and he's putting you in a position to win, but he pushes you guys more than you would ever push yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I can understand why that would suck. Give me a run through of what one practice, like you say it sucks. Like you go in, is it about 2 hour practice?
Yeah, probably.
2 hour, 10 minute. They can be 2
Yeah.
hour, 30 minutes. It kind of all depends on
how well we're doing that day.
Okay, so give me a run through. We won't say at the beginning of the season because I know he has to approach that differently till he gets you in shape. But right now, where you guys are at, you're probably at your peak. What's practice like?
At our peak, it's typically we'll do just like not really technique, but we're like doing light drill.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll do 2 live matches, and then he wants to keep us feeling as best as we can, so he keeps it pretty light. Then we don't do much conditioning. Like I know before leading into districts, we were doing 10 down and back sprints at the end of practice.
Okay.
Just to get that lung burn.
The conditioning part of it. What other stuff do you do for like it's built in as conditioning as you practice, but what are some of those other things that they have you do?
So we usually do like some 2-minute lives, and we'll do that probably 5 or 6 times back to back.
Okay.
And that usually gets your lungs going pretty good.
So are you matching up to people that are of the same strength, or the same weight class, or do you get to pick, or how does that work out?
So her answer is going to be different than mine, but there's nobody else in the room. Like we have people that come in and will wrestle with me, but typically I'm just wrestling Warren, which I got some weight on him and I'm a little bit stronger.
I got you.
What
about you?
For me, it's around strength and weight class and all that. Like me being 140, I won't go with Isla Wilk, who's 115. That's an unfair match. I'll go with Anna Fisher and Haley Wheeler and them.
Is it beneficial at all to wrestle somebody who is heavier than you or stronger than you? I mean, it may not be for the person who's obviously there, but for you, is that something that you sometimes hope that you might get a shot at? Or
So it typically, it determines on what you need to practice. So whenever I wrestle Warren, it's pretty nice because he's a lot quicker than me. So it's just fast-paced match.
Okay.
And it gets me moving pretty good. But but there's other times that I wrestle one of our assistant coaches that comes in.
Yeah.
And he's a lot stronger than me. So, I mean.
Who is it? I just curious.
It's Tyler Hale.
Tyler Hale?
Yeah.
I remember Tyler. Cool. Is it the same for you, or do you feel the same way? Or?
Yeah, it's nice to get someone who's bigger or stronger than you, because then you have to find a different way to kind of beat them and all that. So maybe instead of muscle matching it with them, you'd work more technique and skill than them, and just figure out a way to pretty much outwork them and get your offense.
I got you. So somebody stronger, you learn how to deal with that, and somebody who's got speed, and then somebody who's got technique, you kind of get a measurement of those kind of things. This is one of the things. My best friend, he was a wrestler, big-time wrestler in high school and in college over at Knox College, and he wrestled heavyweight too. He was a lineman in school and stuff, but I remember his routines, so I'm kind of curious about yours. How do you guys, every day when you go home, you've got to be hungry. And I guess weighing in at heavyweight, you can eat whatever you want. Is that correct? So you never have to worry about that fact, right?
I don't typically worry about weight.
Oh, that must be a nice spot, but I don't think it's the same for you, is it?
No.
So how do you go about dealing? I mean, you've got to be starving when you get home. How do you deal with that?
Typically, I'm not that hungry because I'll eat a little bit throughout the day to keep my metabolism going. When I get home, I'll drink a little bit of water, shower, and then by then I'll get a little bit of supper, but I'm typically not that hungry because, my body's used to, it's wrestling season, and I shrink my stomach so it doesn't need as much food and all that.
So that's food prep, right? What do you food prep? I guess you do it night before or in the morning?
In the morning. I typically do, a little sandwich with a lot more meat than carbs, and I'll bring like a granola bar. And then when I get back home, my mom typically has supper made or is working on it, and she typically knows what's best for if the meat's the next day or you have a few days on what will pretty much fill me up.
So does she have to make adjustments for you based on the fact that you're in this season? Does she make something completely different from everybody else, or?
There's sometimes, yeah. There's times where my brother maybe needs a more higher protein thing, but it's too much, like weighs too much, so she'll make something different for me. Or my dad, who's diabetic, she has to make something completely different for him that he can eat.
Absolutely. Well, what do you guys do for fun time? I mean, do you get any downtime at all? I mean, after the regular week's over, you guys are usually wrestling on weekends, aren't you? Mm-hmm. So do you get any downtime during wrestling season at all?
We get some, like, we mainly get our Sundays off. Mm-hmm. So we'll usually wrestle, and if it's a 2-day tournament, we're going to be wrestling on Friday evening, and then Saturday all day. And then whenever we get back, and usually we get back late Saturday night, and then the next day I'm just like laying in the house watching movies.
Just worn out. So your downtime is like literally chill time. You're not going hanging out with anybody or doing anything. You're basically just relaxing at home.
Sometimes it just depends on how big the tournament is and all that, and how tired I am that day.
I gotcha. Same for you? How do you?
Yeah, pretty much. There's times I'll help around the house, or I like to bake on my off time, so I'll bake some sweet treats for my family. If it's hunting season, I'll go hunting. It kind of all depends.
What do you like to hunt?
Deer and turkey.
Have killed one this year?
Not yet.
Not yet? Still out there, huh? Mm-hmm. What kind of sweets do you like to make?
We call them peanut butter protein balls, so it's like pretty much protein with oats, peanut butter, and all that. And it's just a healthier snack, but it also gives you a little bit of sweetness.
Sounds good. So now that the season's over, I know both of you have different directions that you're going into. I was talking with you earlier. You said you're not playing any other sport. You're just a wrestler year-round. And you just said you were a 3-sport athlete, correct? I assume because you're strong, you throw the shot, or okay?
Throw shot.
Is that the only thing you do, or what else do you do?
Well, I typically only throw, but I've been trying to get Coach to put me in the 300 hurdles.
Get out of here, really?
Just once.
He could do that at the beginning of the season.
I'm telling you.
I mean, it wouldn't even matter, right?
No.
I mean, don't they have opens?
I think. I don't know.
I mean, I would like to see that. That would be kind of cool. But you don't throw you throw the shot, but you don't throw the discus?
No. I get way too lightheaded doing that.
What about the javelin?
I'm not very good at it. I'm just not
good
at it. Yeah.
All right. How'd you do last year?
Last year I didn't make it out of districts. I took 5th, and I think they only took top 4.
I gotcha. So you're looking to maybe improve this year?
Hopefully.
All right. Hopefully you will. And I guess like now that this is coming into play, you're getting ready to graduate. So you've talked about what you're going to do with yourself afterwards. What have you? I know you told us about preparation because we talked with you in football season, and you gave a really good interview then too. And you gave a little praise to your teachers and listening to them and have a little more respect. And you could definitely tell that you've grown a lot since your freshman year and sophomore year. Man, if anybody, especially teachers around here, see that, they know. But where do you see yourself in about 5 years?
In 5 years, I hopefully see myself working about halfway through the apprenticeship program, hopefully getting towards the tail end of it. But that also just depends on when I start the apprenticeship program. But hopefully I'll be about done with.
Are you going to stick around here? Are you going to?
Yeah,
all right, so you're going to stay local? Good. You might come back and maybe help out a little bit?
I plan to next year, but it also I just don't know how much I would be able to with
Oh, sure,
work
with
and all
work,
that.
absolutely, and that's understandable. But I tell you, anytime we can have alumni come back and help our young ones out here, and you got a lot of experience to give them, and they tend to respond pretty well to that. You, on the other hand, you got 2 more years, correct?
Yes.
And then you're going. So tell me, what direction are you trying to move towards with your career? Or at least what you're planning on doing once you graduate high school.
Hopefully going to college for wrestling and going to college to get my business degree so I can start a business in the construction company.
Really? That's a very specific. Okay, so any ideas of where you want to wrestle? Have you thought about that or looked at it, or are you just kind of leaving it out there and saying, I'm letting my talent kind of run things right now and see who kind of comes knocking?
I've always wanted to go to, I think it's Iowa University, the Hawkeyes.
Oh, yeah.
They have a great girls team, but they're also the only one has a really good girls team right now.
Mm-hmm.
But they just passed girls wrestling in the NCAA as a D1 sport now, so hopefully more schools will get it, and I think Oklahoma State or Mizzou.
So you're looking at hopefully a D1 program then.
Yes.
All right, you want to wrestle at a high level. That's awesome. And are you planning on sticking at that same weight class, or does that even matter, or what's your thoughts on that?
Doesn't really matter. Probably probably try to stick out 140 for the high school season.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of see what the college kind of needs. If they need a 140, but I don't quite know how their weights are.
No, and they definitely have a weightlifting program. They'll probably pack some muscle on you that might add a few, whether you want to or not. I don't know, but I went to college and played ball, and let me tell you, it doesn't matter what sport you're in. It's a job, and they take it as such. And you have fun, you make good relationships and stuff, but they put you to a different level than where you're at high school, and that's good because you're ready for it. You're getting into your 20s, and you're ready to do things that extend past the norm of what you were used to in high school. But it sounds like you got lofty goals, and it sounds like we probably will be interviewing you again in the future if things keep going and progressing the way they're going for you right now. A lot of success. What you said last year, second, right?
Yes. This
year, first. We're hoping that you can maintain that the next couple of years. No pressure or anything like that. But that's exciting. I'm really happy you guys had a great year this year, and we're really proud of you and representing us. And I'm glad you guys took the time to get out of class to come and talk with us.
No problem.
All right. Well, that's it for now for Down to the Wire, and we'll catch you next time as we start to unload into softball, baseball, track, and golf season. We'll see you then.